What would you say if you had just 5 minutes with any of our nation's presidents? Well, how about actually spending well over 5 minutes with 5 presidents from our nation's past? Sounds like a pretty cool opportunity, right? I'd like to introduce you to a local author who is here to share her experiences about the leaders of our great nation, as well as her own life experiences. Thea Rosenbaum, good morning.
Good morning.
Great to have you on. I am so excited to talk with you and to share your story. You are a local author here in Southwest Florida. Talk a little bit about your book and tell us the title of it. It's pretty interesting.
Well, it's called No Place for a Lady, and it came about in Vietnam. There was heavy fighting near the Cambodian border, and we flew in on a helicopter. And, you know, it was a lot of ladies who were there. The first thing I asked when I landed was, okay, tell me where your ladies' room is. And the lieutenant at the artillery position said, well, just go straight down here, then turn left, and you see those 2 bushes there? The left one is the men's room, the right one is the ladies' room. So I followed orders and did my thing. And then I thought, well, I can abbreviate this and walk through diagonally. At that moment, the helicopter took off, a lot of noise.
Wow.
And I'm walking towards the artillery position, and I see them all doing jumping jacks there and waving crazily. And I said, I don't hear anything. And then the chopper is gone. And I hear minefield, and I understood why he wanted me to walk the way he told me to walk. So I gingerly, you know, stepped back and walked out the way. I came in, and when I reached him, he said, this is no place for a lady.
Wow, and that really kind of stuck with you then, huh?
Right, and wherever I have been or whatever I've been doing, I hear it over and over. This is not a woman's place. This is not what a woman does. This is no place for a lady. It's sort of stuck.
So Thea, kind of, you know, why were you on that helicopter? Kind of bring us back to what brought you to that point, and what made you want to put everything, you know, down on paper to share it with the world?
Well, I was coming to Vietnam with my then husband, who was a bureau chief for a network, American network. And I actually was, at that time, still a stockbroker.
Wow.
And I was Germany's first female youngest stockbroker. That was my first.
Pretty incredible.
And
you've broken a lot of these first records as well. I mean, that's not the only one.
Yeah, I didn't want to. It just happened, you know. And I did not grow up to break glass ceilings, but I wanted to do something what nobody else has done. So when I came to Vietnam, the German correspondent for the Newswire service, he asked me if I would fill in on vacation. Well, 2 weeks later, they sent me a contract, and I became a war correspondent, and I was Germany's only female war correspondent.
Wow, that is so incredible. We've got just about 5 minutes today. I wish we had 5 hours. You're so interesting. I wish, you know, I wish we could talk all day, but we'll try to get as much in as we can. You know, you talk about the breaking glass ceilings, being in the combat zone. I mean, you must have had bullets whizzing by your head. What was that experience like?
Frightening. I mean, if you're not scared, you're crazy. You know? Of course you're scared, but you have to overcome. As a journalist, you also want to be there where the action is, of course. And you have to just learn what is sensible and what is not, what is too dangerous. And I remember when I had my first close call, I didn't even know. You know, we were in the middle, we were running into an ambush. But we did. Boy, and they're whizzing by us, I tell you, and they called in close air support, and it was very close. I think I was more afraid of the American air support than I was of the Viet Cong shooting at us.
I cannot imagine. Well, your book, There's No Place for a Lady, you can hear so much more about this and all of the details. You talk about presidents in your book. You got to spend time with a lot of our nation's leaders. What was that like quickly here?
Oh, it was interesting. Every president, of course, was different. We traveled with them.
Now, name a couple of them.
Well, the first one, I started out with Nixon in San Clemente, and then President Carter I got to know the administration because I did an interview with him, and supposedly he looked with lust in his heart at me. That was the going joke with the White House press corps.
How exciting. No Place for a Lady again. You've got some incredible stories in there. As we close here, Thea, do you think that, you know, your title, No Place for a Lady, has things changed since then, do you think? I mean, is it quite a bit different now, do you think? Do you see a big...
Well, look, you're here. And maybe in my time, it would have been a man sitting there.
Yeah.
And yes, things have changed, but it's still, I think women still have to fight.
Yeah. Well, there's No Place for a Lady. Again, Thea, thank you so much for being here. You can grab her book on Amazon. You can grab her, I think, at Barnes & Noble, too, and then also noplaceforalady.com. Thank you so much for sharing your story and being on the show.
Thank you.
We're going to have more. You can check out more on her and her book on our website as well at fox4morningglenn.com. Buyer beware, what you need to know as a consumer when you're investing in your own home. But first, a look at your Fox forecast and news headlines.